joining us live is none other than Chef Bolatito, a healthy living expert and the head chef at TMC Sea Food. You're welcome to the show
Thank
once
you
again.
for having me again.
Yes. It's good to have you on the show. All right, so you've made a name for yourself with some practical approaches to meal prepping. Can you share some basics of meal prepping with our viewers and maybe a few tips to make it easier?
I think meal prepping has really gained more popularity because of the fact that most people want to eat healthy. The healthy lifestyle is now the in thing, and meal prepping helps you to eat better. What I mean by saying eating better is when you prep your meal, you don't just rush off to eating junks. Because your meals are already prepped, so it's easy for you to take them if it's to put them in the microwave or just heat them a bit because you've done half of the job, say 80% of what you're supposed to do normally. So meal prepping is very important for anyone that wants to go on a healthy lifestyle. And I would also say that if you want to go into meal prepping, there are basic tips for that are very essential. Number one, you have to make sure that you have very durable containers. I will actually suggest that you use containers that are glass household um, packaging containers that has rubber lids because it's actually very more healthier per se and it will last long. You're looking at the fact that you don't want to spend so much money and you want to be very cost effective. The second thing I would advise for you to get maybe silicone trays. If you want to, for people that love soups, you know, when I mean soup, I don't mean the Nigerian kind of soup. Maybe carrot soup, any kinds of vegetable soup that are blended. You can have them in silicone trays, like in portion. And another thing that meal prepping helps actually is you portion your meals and you have a very balanced meal. Say you have in your prepping in your bowl, you have protein, you have carbohydrates, you have your vegetables. Like everything is in portions. Also, you need to have a to-do list. You know your grocery shopping list. Write out the things that you like, and as the week goes by, for you not to get bored of the same thing, you keep introducing new kind of meals to your menu. You know what you're already listed, and maybe this week you have vegetables, protein, some grains in your prep, and maybe some fruits, parfait. The next week you want to make sure that you do less of protein, more of plant-based protein. You know, you just switch it up like that so you don't get bored.
So meal prepping can be tiring. Yeah,
Of
yeah,
course.
yeah. So how can someone stay motivated to stick with meal prepping?
The fact that your health is at stake, the fact that this is a lifestyle, is not something that you want to do one of. Why you even start meal prepping in the first instance is because you want to be able to balance your meal. You don't want to eat junk because you know why. Sometimes we just want to eat healthy and then it's very stressful and it's not achievable. It's because whatever we see available, that's what we go for. The fact that we have to take long to start prepping or making new meals that are healthy and that's what we're supposed to take, you know. We'll just be like, oh, what's available? We'll go for it. And it might be junk, it might not be good for our health.
So can you also tell us about some versatile ingredients? I know you mentioned it earlier, but can you tell us about some versatile ingredients that are staples in your meal prep routines and why they are so useful?
Um, Number one, I would say that um, fruits. Okay. I like to prep my fruits so that way it's easy for me to. And then oats. Um, Sometimes, and then my protein too, because it's very hard for you to start boiling the protein,
Mm,
garnishing it, making it taste the way you want, and then you now put it. So So if I prep and make sure that I've taken all of those stress out of my routine, is easy for me. So one of the things is my protein, my vegetables, and then I love overnight oats because when I prep, I just, it's a good thing. Even if you're going to work, you just pick it out from the fridge, and on your way to work, you can just snack on whatever it is that you have in your bowl. It's very important.
Okay. I like overnight oats too. I like to
Okay.
blend mine after.
Oh, okay. Don't add yours with fruit.
No, I add the fruits after I've blended.
Oh,
Garnish.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But do you add
I add banana. I put
okay,
banana,
nice.
yogurt.
Granulas.
That's after. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I like
So
to
it makes it, because you don't put it immediately. When you
no,
want to serve it, that's when you just sprinkle
put
it on it,
everything.
and
Yes.
then it makes it even
The
more
oats
tasty
is
and
just
crunchy.
the overnight oats
Cashew
with
nuts, all of your nuts.
yes,
It's a full meal.
chia
And then
seeds and all that. So
exactly,
it's more balanced.
true,
Yeah.
true.
So
Cashew nuts, pistachios, all of them.
so if you don't have money to buy pistachios, because my next question is, what advice do you have for someone who is just starting out with meal prepping and might feel overwhelmed by the process?
If you look at prepping, you think it's actually tedious, like stressful, because of the first day you do everything. But when you think of the fact that you don't have to do this all the time, you'll be like, okay, this is worth it. If I take this one day and prep all of my meals, then I won't have
Yeah,
a
done for the
problem in
week.
the rest of the week. I am done. So I think that that's what should be behind your mind, that this is what you're doing it for, and you're taking stress. You're not going to be in the kitchen or in anybody's face for the rest of the week. I love carrot soup a lot,
Okay.
because if I make carrot soup, my own combination of carrot soup is um the carrot, um celery stalk, and parsley. I boil it together with some stock water in it, and then fresh coconut milk. So when I blend it, so that way you see I have my vegetables in it, and I have some good fat. So, and it's filling for me. So when I blend it, I separate it in mini bowls, and then I have it like a soup. You can actually have it with some
Some
bread,
toast.
toast. You can have it. You can take it on its own as it is.
Mm.
But why you want to have it with toast is because you want it to be more filling. That's if you're really hungry, and trust me, it's very filling. So if you have that, so that's like one of my favorite meal. I call it a meal actually. Because
Yeah, it
it's
is
filling.
a meal. Even
It's
though some people
filling.
use it as a starter, but
That's
it
why,
is a
yeah, I
meal.
guess.
Okay. All right. So I know earlier I mentioned meal prepping. I mean, what if you can't afford to buy pistachio?
Okay, yeah.
So meal prepping on a budget. So we
Mm-hmm.
know that things are
Very.
very dear right now. So how do you meal prep on a budget?
The first thing that came to my mind was I wanted to mention carrot, but guess what? Carrot is too expensive.
It's expensive right now.
All the vegetables are really expensive. I was at the market and I was like, what is going on? But yes, you can still prep. We have what do you call it? Spinach. We have our local spinach. You can steam your local spinach with some crayfish, and then parboil your rice. You have some portion of rice in your bowl, your spinach, and then you can actually add make soup with what do you call tofu now. You
Okay.
can make soup with tofu, and tofu will now become your protein. So that way it's cheaper for you. You don't even have to buy meat, because now you have protein, you have vegetables, and then you have some carbs. So your bowl is complete for your day, for the energy, the vitamins, everything that you need to start off. So it's really reasonable and it's very affordable.